Hey guys, it's Rahul from Luxe 360 Booths here over in the UK. And we're here with David Rodriguez as well from Canary Capital. Do you want to tell them?
Canary Capital Productions.
Yeah.
Today we about to bring the fire. We got Rahul, United Kingdom, collaboration. It's a unity to bring you guys the most value.
A local area, it's kind of like local council networking. One's a web developer and one's actually a videographer.
Yeah.
And they've been the most reliable guys because they think on their feet.
Yeah.
Yesterday, one of the guys, he had a problem where the space they gave him was way too small and he had a backdrop in it. And instead of like worrying, ringing me, whatever like that, he just got on with it, got the job done, client was happy. And like, that's what you want really, isn't it? You just want people that are going to think on their feet if an emergency happens and they're not going to panic. But it's like the people I've had in the past have either been really like unreliable in like they'll turn up, they won't turn up, or it's just that like they're like, there's a problem, I don't know what to do, and there's not any logic behind it. There's no logical thinking. And at first I thought it's perhaps like what we're paying people, because we're paying people like the minimum wage. So we up the pay. So now we pay like well above minimum wage. I take the team out, I try and treat them really good. We've just been nominated for awards, so I says, well, I'll pay for the tickets are like £55 each. So I said, I'll pay for all the tickets. We'll just go on a night out. Trying to keep them motivated like that. So staff's just been like the most difficult thing, I think. But I'm kind of lucky now because now we're in that position where I've got 3 really good staff. So yeah.
The trust factor probably in the beginning was very, very extreme and difficult for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you dive into the first experiences of bringing someone in to represent your brand and how much it took from you to actually hand over the trust and control?
Yeah, definitely. So I think because it's your own brand and it's something that like you believe in, you've put 100% into and you've built, it was a little bit difficult because you're worried, are they going to be pleasing the client in the same way? Are they going to give it the same care as you? Are they going to go above and beyond in the same way? It took me just having to give that faith to a person. And in a way, I think it's a little bit like getting to know them. So getting to know what their personality and their attitude is like, if it's going to fit with your client type, because you deal with the leads as a business owner and you know the majority of like what clientele you're getting, what the type of clientele you're getting is. So for me, I think it was a bit more, with the first few people, they probably weren't the right fit for the business. I was getting people in because the demand was there, but I didn't actually at that point think actually the person needs to meet the clientele as well and be able to handle them. Because, for example, if you're in a bar and you're dealing with 100 drunk people, someone who doesn't like drunk people, they're not going to handle that well and they're not going to enjoy doing it. So for me, it was, I think it was getting to that mindset and thinking point where I could actually comprehend that it's not actually so much the person might be rubbish, it's just actually the fact it's not the right role for them. But it takes a little bit of time, it took me a long time. It didn't come to me instantly, I'm not going to claim that it didn't, so it took me a little bit of time to work that out. But like I said, I'm in a really good position now. Like we've got 2 really good staff who really think on their feet. They handle the emergencies. They're eager to learn as well. They're always wanting to learn more. The only machine they don't know is the 360. Everything else they know. So they can do the setup. They can do the software. They even know, hey, if something goes wrong in the software, this is what I've got to do in case of that emergency. It's just more now teaching them the 360 and get into that and how to set it up and doing all that stuff themselves, which I think I haven't had that trust in them yet because I'm thinking, they've not been doing it for more than a year yet. I'm kind of building them up to doing everything themselves. But yeah.
So it sounds like you went through the process of realizing I'm not the best HR yet. I'm not doing the best onboarding process and the filtration, and I'm not really probing with the right questions or in the interview to see if they're a good fit for the company's mission, not just the company's upcoming event.
Yeah.
And I think it's really wonderful that you share this insight because sometimes out of desperation, we want to hire on the fly, or we get so excited with the very first person we interview, we think, perfect.
Yeah.
But after those 3 people that you brought in and then let go, it taught you a lot about you, your business, and people in general, right? So now that you guys are a team of a solid four.
Yeah.
What's the new challenge that you face now?
It's meeting up with the demands because we're doing 3 events a weekend, and it's fast paced.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I can't say it's been an easy journey, but it's making sure that I keep the staff motivated with the passion, and it's something you touched on, and I was like, hit it on the head with what's right. I'm really passionate about the business. What I'm passionate about it is that Scott, that I love about it is making memories for people, unforgettable memories. And that's why for a long time with the business, I was doing things wrong for the first year, because all I would say is, I'm a photo booth hire company. Yeah, I've got a really good photo booth. And I wondered why I was attracting the wrong kind of clients. But as soon as I actually started realising, and it actually came on the back of a complete accident, we plugged in a booth in a pub, which is like equivalent to what you guys call a bar. Plugged it in. I didn't realise a little bit of the wire was frayed, and it blew the whole unit. So the whole pub lights went out, everything. And that happened. And from that point, I rebuilt that machine. So I went to a local electrician, local welder, local joiner, rebuilt it because I wasn't sure at the time the insurance was going to pay out. And that's when I realised, like, what I'm actually doing is bespoke, and I'm giving someone an experience. And their experiences are really important to them, like their wedding, their engagement. They might only have one of those in their life, you know. So for me, the next challenge is keeping the staff as passionate as I am about the business, because sometimes I'll only sleep 4 hours a day. I'm very similar to you in the disabilities, but I don't let them call me disabilities because I don't think anything should disable you. So, for me, it's keeping the staff as passionate about the business as I am. That's the next challenge. And I think apart from that, it's scaling the business to the point where we can have our own premises. Because right now, the staff come to my garage, they pick everything up from me. I keep everything in my garage. I test everything in my garage or my living room. My living room becomes a test center. So it's getting to that point where I can scale it, which we're very close to get a unit and get a premises. And also, because we sell the machines as well, sometimes people want to come and view them, and they are saying to me now, it's a challenge that we're facing is, can I come and view the photo booth at your unit? I can't offer that because they'd have to come to my garage, and it would look a little bit amateurish from my side. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the latest challenges that I've got. It's that and keeping up to date with the technology, because I've come to Photo Booth Expo today, London, because I'm looking at newer technology. We're still on Loom Booth, but sometimes in England where we are, we're in the countryside, there isn't the greatest hotspot, there isn't the greatest business router. We bought travel routers that like Loom Booth and suggested us. We still face a lot of issues, my guys do, when there's no internet. Right now we're getting around it because we put a clause into, obviously, our hire that if there isn't any signal, when we get back to HQ and it's unqueued, we've got Wi-Fi, we'll send it over to you. Mm-hmm. But obviously, we want to give the best experience, the best service, because we've got a good name in our area, mm-hmm. and we want to keep that standard.
So when you stated that experience is everything, how do you tie that into now versus when you first started the business?
What do you mean? In what way?
So when you said in the beginning you weren't attracting the ideal client, what shifted? What did you implement in your infrastructure and in your overall delivery to start acquiring the clients that you wanted, that you're passionate about serving?
There was kind of two things. So I completely rebranded what we were saying, because at first we were saying we were the best photo booth company in Nottingham, which is a bold statement.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, and everyone says it. So I was like number one in Nottingham, in England. And when that incident happened with the booth, it was like when I wasn't sure if the insurance was going to pay out, it just got me really thinking, and I rebuilt it. This is like a bespoke thing I built. And at that time I was thinking, but the experience has got to be really good, like it's still, because I was rebuilding it. So I think it was that shift in mindset where it just clicked. Then the marketing clicked, because it clicked that everything was wrong, in that I'm saying I'm just hiring a photo booth, but it's actually a bespoke experience. So I changed our slogan. I put redefining memories, a leading company. So it wasn't so, it didn't come across arrogant, even though we weren't trying to be at the time. It was a bit more astute, in that we're saying we're a leading company. So we're not the best, but we're trying to lead the way. Mm-hmm. And I think apart from that, it's just been as well holding our value and knowing our value. I didn't know my value when we started out. So I was basically taking any job at any price because I thought it was paying the bills. But when I actually realised that we're offering a bespoke experience, some of our photo booths are unique, and I had a wake-up call that when I looked into the market and I was just checking what are generally my competitors offering, I saw they aren't offering what I am. So I knew that I had that value and I could keep we could keep our prices at a decent price. And I think that factored in with that. It gave me that kind of redefining moment where I thought, now we can focus on experience and improving the experience every time we go, which is, again, one of the things I'm always looking at doing, which is why I've come here to look at better software, what's going on in the industry, and what's happening.
Definitely investing. I like the fact that you stated that you rebranded. Donya, my business partner, she shared a post with me with Celsius. I don't know if you heard of that drink here in the UK. No, in the States, Celsius is an energy drink.
Yeah.
And now its stock has blown up over the last few years. It's a drink you see everyone at the gym drinking. Kids, younger kids are drinking. It's not great for you, but here's what they did. Celsius came up with the drink, and their can, it just said energy drink. Yeah. Very, very plain. And then they came up with the second design, and it said energy drink, low calories. And that didn't do so well. And they came up with another design where it said strawberry, and then it said Celsius and said energy. So they told you what it was going to taste like, it showed you what it did, and the logo. So it went from its evolution to cater as a perfect marketing tactic in a can.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when you're saying that every photo booth company says hire the best, we're the best. Yeah. It's very difficult to say, but this is why. But when you start changing up the name for your business, you rebrand, you have a certain slogan, you have a certain theme to your website, to your social media, that's what's going to gravitate a certain client to you. So that's how Celsius is winning now. They created a can that's very captivating as it's sitting in the shelf next to other cans. So it took you time to develop that. And right now you're doing the work to continue to scale your business because you're reaching into what's new, what's innovative, what can I apply? So you are 4 employees in, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 5 in a very close future.
Hopefully, yeah. We've just got a new wooden booth.
Which one? There's so many. So which one did you?
It's a Tri-Booth brand.
I've not heard of that one.
They're a UK brand. So what happened was that, funny enough, that 360 that I repaired, the one that I bespokely built, it had been sitting in the garage for a while. So I just thought, I'm going to put it up for sale. Someone offered another photo booth company that I know very well because I know a lot of the operators in England because I'll send them jobs up north. They might send me some down south. So we have a great relationship. He offered to trade me that booth basically for a Tri-Booth one, the wood one. And I was like, great, because right now, what is our demand? It's a lot of selfie booth demands. So I've traded that in. So that's going to be the next thing. And we're going to need someone to run that. So it's definitely going to be a 5th staff member.
Yeah. Different new chapter.
I did have a question for you, obviously based on what you said to me. I know you said a lot about you do the photo booth industry and the game more for your passion than anything to do with money.
Right.
Obviously, like as a photo booth owner in the UK, I think there's a lot of difference in the UK to the US market. On my channel, a lot of what the subscribers are asking is about income, earnings, ROI. But what's one of the things that's kept you motivated and passionate? Because I watched your videos like from when I started out. You were the first person I watched on YouTube. So you're a huge inspiration to me. And, I just always felt like you were so driven all the time, even when the industry was changing. But from your own words, like, what's kept you passionate about it?
The way I see the photo booth industry is very unique, and I think a lot of people see it as a way to, of course, bring in an income.
Yeah.
They see it a way to be a creator in this lifetime, and they see it as a way to become a leader. And so for when I started the photo booth business, my thoughts were just make money on your own by yourself without relying on anyone, because that's where you are going to grow as a being. So that's what I did, Raul. I started doing the 360 and just the 360.
Yeah.
And I was busy doing 4 events by myself every week. And then I had to bring assistants in. so they can help me because it gets tiring. You make a lot of money, of course.
Yeah.
So I know for the UK market, yes, you could make a lot of money, especially if you're keeping all the profit for yourself.
Yeah.
So for us, and then you guys can change this into pounds, but USA, you can average anywhere from $150 to $250 an hour. Wow. That's on average without a degree, without having to be a lawyer or an engineer. It's simply just providing wonderful memories and excitement at any event, whether it's a birthday, quinceañera, corporate event, company recognition day, whatever you're invited to.
Yeah.
My passion came from self-enrichment and growth. And so that consisted of me being creative, getting out of my comfort zone, and also going out there by myself. So that, for some people, they find it challenging. So usually want to jump into the industry with a partner because it feels a bit more secure.
Yeah.
There's that concerted effort. But for me, I just did it off of passion because I was wanting more growth and more challenges in my life.
Yeah. What do you think has been the most challenging part of your journey then, for the people, who may not have watched it?
Yes. So in the beginning, there's going to be a set of problems.
Yeah.
And I call that the phase 1, and then phase 2 and phase 3. I'll break it down for you what I mean by that. Right. Phase 1 at first was just having the equipment, the hardware to keep up with demand.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest problems is how can, you had a booth, you told me that had blew out.
Yeah, when the wire's frayed, yeah.
That's the last thing you want, right?
Yeah.
So that's your asset. That's generating you money. You guys are working, right? You're using your hardware as an asset. So that for me was checked off. The second phase is now growing and scaling. And behind the growing and scaling part, it doesn't exist if there's no trust. Yeah. If you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust the universe, then you're going to be a solopreneur, meaning you're going to make decent money on your own, but you can't take a vacation. You don't have any sick days. You're not making money passively. And so I think, in a sense, for someone, that might work out beautifully, maybe a college student, maybe a single parent. But for me, I knew that I had to scale the business by handing over the control to other people, and that's very difficult for me. Yeah. Raul, I had over 75-star reviews on Google.
Wow.
And bringing someone in and sending them to an event representing my brand, it was so scary because they're not going to do the best job, not as good as me. But here's what I learned from someone. Someone told me this: David, maybe you hire someone and they can only do 25% of what you can do. But if you hire 4 people to do 25% each, that's 100%. So it might take 4 people to replace you. And when I thought about that, I said, wow, that makes a lot of sense, because no one's going to be as passionate, as innovative, as creative. And think of how many words I just said, right? There's 3 words just to define some of the characteristics. So when you find someone that's really good at leadership and punctuality, then you can hire them for a specific part of your business. If you hire someone that's really good with their creative side and great with customer service, you can hire them for a different aspect of your business. So right now, from what you shared, you have 4 employees. Yeah. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but every single event, they are growing their strengths and minimizing their weaknesses, right? So that's the second phase. The third phase is, my goodness, now I have a team. Now I need to be consistent, because those people are relying on me to keep them busy so that they can get money to provide for their families and their well-being. And this part is a little scary, because now you have to go into the unknown, something you never did before. And that's the third, I call it the third phase. The third phase is, how do you get constant bookings without fail to make sure you keep your team busy and growing, satisfied, and captivated? Yeah. And that's when you start setting a budget aside for marketing. That's when you start getting into Google Ads, email remarketing, marketing as a whole. So that's where I'm at now. I'm in the third phase, and I'm sure, I can tell you, Raul, I'm very confident there's going to be a 4th phase, because I'm not there yet. I'm not going to even entertain that phase yet. I'm just going to talk about what I know. So that's where I'm at right now, the third phase.
And one question I've always had, because correct me if I'm wrong there, I've never seen it on your videos, but what actually got you into the photo booth industry? Because I think, like, when I looked at, I don't know if it was one of your old profiles, but like it said you did like mobile phone repairs back in the day. Right. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So like, how was the transition into the photo booth industry? Just because, like, I always ask it on my channel, to the guys, so they get a bit of a background for my subscribers. But like, What was your journey like? What's walk me through? 'Cause I'm really interested.
When I was a little boy, I saved up enough money to buy a remote control car. And my mom would tell me, every time you buy a remote control car, you take it apart, and you don't put it back together, and then you have a broken remote control car. What I was trying to do with those remote control cars is interchange the pieces to make it a cooler, better, faster remote control car. But my mind was never organized to put everything back together. It didn't come with a manual to disassemble or assemble. It was meant to be charged up and used. And then as I got older, I realized I do like taking things apart. I'm very curious. And so when someone introduced the idea of becoming a phone repair technician, I thought that gives me the chance to take technology apart, but this time actually put it back together to function. So that's when I was introduced to the idea of becoming a phone repair technician. And someone gave me the opportunity at a company called Dynatel. I don't know if it's still around. It's many years ago. And I became a phone repair technician for a authorized company that fixed phones for Nextel and Sprint.
Wow.
So that's how I got into the phone repair business. And then from that point on, I learned, and I got to a point where I said, I'm going to be my own boss now, because I had the entrepreneurship behind my mind. And I started a phone repair business. It did really good. And because I was so young, I wasn't ready to do what I'm doing now, which is put my trust in other people. It was all about just me and what I could do with my time and my hands. So there I was fixing phones, making decent money. When I got into the photo booth industry, I wanted something more fun in my life. I wanted more, once again, something that I'm passionate about. So what I realized as I became an adult is at parties, I would love to take photos and videos. And with the videos, I was very, very detailed as far as like the saturation and contrast. And when I found out that I can actually go to an event and take photos and videos and get paid for it, I thought, why not explore that? You know, my friends and family don't appreciate it. When I would take photos and videos, they'd be like, oh, David's recording again. And they'll be like, don't post me on social media. I don't want to be on social media. So my family was tired of me recording them and taking pictures of them. So then I said, okay, well, I'm going to go somewhere where I'm appreciated and I get paid for this stuff. And so that's when I tapped into the photo booth industry. I was on TikTok scrolling during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
And I seen a reel on TikTok, and the guy said, I'm making over $4,000 every month with one 360 booth. And I seen the 360 booth. I said, like, that is so cool. And I think that's when the universe said, David, go for this. Why? Because I was excited, and that was something that I was already passionate about. So this is what I mean by it's so important for you to continue following your passions, because they're always going to lead to one thing, and that one thing leads to another, and it just unfolds. But when you stay true to what you enjoy doing and you do it to the best of your abilities, the universe has an interesting way of compensating you and rewarding you. And so to fast forward to now, that's how I got into the photo booth industry, by starting off with one 360 booth and one thing that I was passionate about, which is capturing memories.
It's really interesting, really interesting story. Because I've got a similar background. You see, I've had a lot of other businesses, probably not done as well as some of yours, but I think I've lost my passion for them.
Okay.
And then obviously everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. Mm-hmm. But this business, it's just kind of scaled and everything's happened. Like, you know, like I was saying to you earlier about getting a grant from the council, being approved for that, meeting the people in that networking group. And I think it's just always slotted in. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying earlier. What transitioned to the YouTube then? Like, what made you do that?
Because I had a couple of other businesses that I was passionate about that didn't go according to plan.
Oh, okay.
I had experience with Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. That's what it stands for. And what that was, Raul, is that I would go and contact China, source out different suppliers, go on Amazon and see what product was trending, was selling a lot, and had a good profit margin. And so I thought, I want to make passive income. I want to travel the world and make money. That was my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I thought Amazon FBA is the way to do it, because you buy product in China, you private label it, you send a quality inspection company to go inspect the product before they ship it to Amazon's warehouses in the USA. And then you start running campaigns on Amazon so that your product can pop up at the very top of the page, search page, for certain keywords. I did really well for about a month. I ordered 500 units. I remember I used a credit card. I didn't have the money, but I had a vision.
Yeah.
And I got so excited, I thought I was going to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because I thought, finally, I'm making money while fixing phones, but I'm making money without physically being somewhere passively via Amazon, because Amazon ships out the products for you to the client.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to get rich. I thought, finally, I'm going to be able to take my family to the cabins during Christmas, and it's going to be beautiful. My life is going to be great. And for a month, I thought that was going to be happening. But then I learned from my mentor, he said, David, you're competing with people who are selling a similar product than you, but they have deeper pockets, or they're buying that similar product by you, but they're ordering containers. Thousands of pieces. You're ordering 500 pieces.
Yeah.
So he said, what's going to happen, he was very wise. He said, they're going to be able to sell the product cheaper than you because they have higher profit margins, and they're going to, you're not going to survive. You're going against big team players. And that's exactly what happened. They started dropping their prices, offering coupons, and I was still getting rid of my inventory, but I had to lower my prices. And so it got to a point where I wasn't making profit anymore. I broke even. And from that point on, I realized I learned a valuable lesson. And so when I started 360 Booth journey, I already had skills. But keep in mind, Raul, before I jump forward, is remember, I thought that Amazon was going to make me wealthy.
Yeah.
And it didn't, but it taught me a lot. And so when I was looking for a 360 booth, guess what I did? Because I learned how to look for products in China. That's exactly what I did. I looked for a 360 booth that I can get from China, from a vendor that was going to be reliable, had some type of insurance to back up their product, had warranty, had great reviews. And so I took the world on a journey with me, and I showed them exactly what I was doing to start a new business. Because I know how it is, and I know how it felt now to have a business that didn't go according to plan. So I thought, why not document this business launch on YouTube? And so I started at my mom's backyard shooting YouTube videos talking about, guys, I'm about to buy a 360 booth, and this is my plan for my next journey. That's how I started the YouTube channel.
Wow, that's brilliant. That's amazing. I mean, for me, like with the channel, what it was for me is that obviously I started, after I rebuilt the first booth, I was building a few other, and I kind of was selling them, but I wasn't giving any help or guidance. I was just selling the unit, and a lot of people were coming to me for help and guidance, so I was kind of mentoring them. And then basically, I had an ad manager who does the ads for us now, and he kind of said to me, he was like, when you're sending them out tutorials, because I was like WhatsApping tutorials to people, doing tutorials individually for them, giving them that one-to-one on time, he was like, you should put that onto YouTube. And then a lot of the people I was selling the booth to said to me, you know what, like, although there's an American market and it's great, people like yourself and all the other American YouTubers, there's some things that, like, they're different in the US market to UK, like cherry bolt, you know, we don't get that in England. 17 how we don't get that in England. So they were like, you know, there should be a YouTube for the UK community. And I thought, there is a gap. I would love to do it because I love helping people. I love helping businesses get started with it and the memory. So that's, for me, was how I did it. And it was to be the first kind of UK community for that. But one thing I found, and I don't know if you've come across it on your journey, is, and I don't know if it's a mentality difference here in the UK, but a lot of the demand of what I'm getting from YouTube subscribers on my side is, we want to hear from more UK photo booth companies on how they're getting business, how they're doing, how their journey's been. And it's kind of been met with a lot of resistance. Companies that I know and I have a great relationship with in the area, or I've sent a job with, they're happy to come on board. But companies that I may not have ever come across, or they just started up, they're just like, I'm not really interested right now. And I've kind of been hit with that resistance with it. But obviously I'm trying to grow the channel and help the users, also help any potential customers or anyone just in the industry as well. So it's been a tough one. Have you faced anything like that in, like, your journey with the YouTube channel?
My philosophy on YouTube is how much value can you provide per second? And so people make entertainment videos, they get a ton of views.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because they get a lot of views. It's entertainment. But what I learned, because I made videos that are funky, that are like, that was funny, but not a lot of value, but it kept me entertained.
Yeah.
And so what I learned from my channel over 1,000 videos is that when I would make entertainment videos, I would reach more people. But when I would make really long educational videos, some people see it as boring. Some people see it as, oh, perfect. This is exactly the video I needed. The audience changes drastically. You go from someone entertaining the idea of maybe diving into the photo booth to someone that's already on the sideline with a few $1,000s, or someone that just started to say, like, I'm glad David took the time to make that educational video because I watched the entire thing at least 3 times.
Yeah.
And so for the philosophy for me is, if for you, focus on the education side. Don't even waste your time so much on the entertainment side, because even though you get a lot of views and your ego says, we're getting a lot of views, this video is fire. But if you, for example, are providing a photo booth that you are selling, and you're just entertaining, you're thinking getting more views is going to help you sell more booths.
Yeah.
Reality is no. Reality is going to be the value that you're providing to the serious owner, to the serious person that's serious about the business. You much better have one of those people than 10 viewers that are just thinking of maybe possibly doing it.
Yeah.
So what I would say is focus really on the educational side. See how you can make a video that's going to provide lots of value within those 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then people are always talking about, well, how long should my video be? And I always tell them, if your video is 60 seconds long and they were able to provide a solution within those 60 seconds, mission accomplished. If your video is 55 minutes long, within those 55 minutes, it was all golden nuggets, great information, video got great retention, that's because you were able to cram so much value in those 55 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong. It's just the best thing that I can say is try to give people as much info as fast as possible.
So you think once you get the more value in the videos, the people and the collaborations will flow from that probably more naturally?
That, and the algorithm rewards you.
Yeah.
Because even if it's a 2-minute video, but the algorithm seeing that they watch 75% of it, the algorithm will bump up that educational video and put it out to more people. And the algorithm is a whole different beast. But it can work in your favor if you bring that value. If you have a financial goal, and I know that a lot of people in the UK, you told me, like, they want to stick to the income part.
Yeah, it's so, like, I hated being money oriented. You know, like when I did the videos on my channel and it was about money, I didn't enjoy doing the video, I'll be honest, but I just kept getting asked it. When I was selling the booth, the first question people come up with, and I think it's a UK mentality thing, because I think the climate's been slightly different here. We've had like the economic recession here, where the cost of living crisis, which is a thing where all our gas prices has gone up, like the cost of living in the UK has gone up. London, where we are now, that's probably the most expensive out of anywhere. And I think that's put pressure on people to look for side hustles and other incomes. The photo booth's been something. So it's the first question I'm asked. First question the subscribers are always asking me is like, how much can I charge? So that's why I kind of made a few money videos, but it isn't primarily like what I wanted the channel for. I wanted it for value, exactly what you said, to see if it can help people and just expand their knowledge as well for really everyone. And also just for collaborations as well, to help other photo booth business who might be struggling get out there and get some exposure and learn vice versa. Because I think, you know, collaboration is a great thing and it can work really well. In my area where I am in the Midlands, there's a few other companies, and I know every single other competitor in my area. We don't have a price war because I kind of said to him, we have an agreement on price parity, like a gentleman's agreement. It's not even signed. It's a gentleman's agreement where you don't charge higher than me, I don't charge higher than you. We'll just let go on the customer and who they want. And it's worked beautifully. And we send each other jobs. If they can't do a job, they're double booked up, I'll send them a job. But yeah.
So where you're at right now, I can only promise you that it's going to change.
Yeah.
This change is inevitable, right?
Yeah.
So right now, the gentleman's agreement that you have, just know that it's going to be short-lived. I know I sound very blunt and pessimistic right now, but believe me when I say, and this is something that James from Curator said, the U.S. is a little bit more accelerated and advanced in the photo booth industry.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you can tap into to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pivot as fast as possible so that I can capitalize on the market. And so the reason why the gentleman agreements, it doesn't work the same. It's because people's lifestyles and personal goals are always going to be different.
Yeah.
And so when you say, David, for me, my aim is to just be passionate and help people. If your audience is asking you, hey, give us a price breakdown, give us a profit margin evaluation, provide them with that knowledge, because your viewers are basically telling you, this is what we want to know. So instead of you wasting your time making a video like, check out the nice features on my photo booth, and you only get a few views, people are not interested. But if you put together a Excel sheet and you say, guys, today I have a team of 3 on this Saturday, this is the price breakdown, this is how much money you can potentially make using my infrastructure. And so now they see you as, okay, someone that's very transparent, and they're going to look at you for more guidance. And what you can do is build a community. Now, once you build a community, then you build trust.
Yeah.
Right? How did you find my YouTube channel?
Oh man, I've been following you for so long. I don't even know.
You just randomly came across it?
I think it must have just come up on YouTube, maybe at the time, because I've been at this a few years. I know that you were the first person I followed on 360s, like who was doing at the time. This is a few years ago. I think like you were the first person I came across. Then obviously, like I found a few other YouTubers, but for me, it was like I watched you more because I could resonate with your story. Like I've had businesses, you've had businesses, we've got that in common. You're passionate about it, and obviously I at the time, I still am. I'm passionate about it, and I think at that point you was on that new business journey. But I think it was YouTube. In short, I think it was YouTube, because I remember I set up my Google business profile when you did that tutorial. I set it up the same way. Still working today.
Really?
Yeah, and you know what? Like I get so many questions about the photo booth owners about like, how's your Google business profile do so well? And I was like, I just followed David's tutorial on YouTube. So it's crazy. And I think as well, you said something back in that time about Google and YouTube being linked and having YouTube videos. And I just did a lot of self-learning. Like I've just followed your videos a lot. And also just on my own journey as well, picking things up. Yeah.
There you go. So that's just the reason I wanted to kind of get an idea of how you heard about the channel.
Yeah.
Was because I believe the algorithm put it there for a reason. And the algorithm is like I think it's becoming an infinite intelligence.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I would want to say to you, Rahul, is as a content creator, as a photo booth business owner, as a mentor, as a visionary, is continue to share your journey and document the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Capitalize on both the highs and the lows, because they're both valuable.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like that's all I'm doing really. If you think about it, I'm telling you exactly my struggles on YouTube. I'm telling you about my success stories on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm showing you my troubleshooting like experiences. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just me sharing the journey. Now it's going to get to a point where less people relate to you because you start growing as a business.
Yeah.
But all the other videos that you created are still running for that person that's barely coming into the industry, that's barely learning how to do the setup, barely learning how to do the software photo booth event setup, right? And then you're going to get your other people that are more advanced, like how much money can I invest in marketing and ads and things like that. So just continue to be transparent is the best advice I can give to you.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's all I've been doing, and I have seen it's slow growth, but I'm getting slowly more and more followers. Like I did a video basically a few weeks ago on an event we did, and a fight broke out there, and I vlogged the whole thing, and I was like, this is a low. This is like, something that was really bad for us that happened. I mean, luckily, like, we didn't make like any loss and no one got hurt or anything, but it's something that happened,
Yeah.
At an event. And I did a couple because market was demanding it. Obviously, the users are demanding videos on like the money side of it. So I did a few on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's good to hear, obviously, like I'm doing the right things, especially from someone like yourself. So thanks for that.
Yeah, it's a never-ending journey. Once you launch a business, it's really a never-ending journey. And some people say, well, what about my exit plan? Well, what's your exit plan? I don't know. But right now, you don't have one because you're still building the business.
Yeah.
Once you have your exit plan, your business has data. It has analytics. It has tax reports. Then you can either sell it or just take the exact same model and duplicate it in a different state or a city that's 30 miles away.
Yeah.
What another insight that I can share really quick with you is I'm starting to see my audience on YouTube, the analytics, and more people from the UK are watching. Yeah. What does that mean? That means that the UK is hungry for knowledge, and that's the part where you have to come in and be the beacon of light and lead by example. So the market's perfect for you right now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is. You know, we've had that gap in the market where no one stepped in. Everyone was doing the same thing with it, and that's why I thought when I had that advice from the team I had around me, like, you know, I'm blessed to have such a good team, that, you know, I got to take this kind of at the right stage, and it's all flowed. So yeah, I'd agree with that totally, because we haven't had that community. You know, there's a few Facebook groups out there, but it's not like a community where people are openly sharing or interviewing like me and you are doing now. There's not been that stage. Everyone's just doing the same thing, which is behind the scenes footage, or they'll do a vlog on TikTok, but no one's made that UK community. I've had wedding celebrants on, I've had networking, I've had events companies, I've tried to make it really different, and the people I've met on my journey that I thought they're great, I've had great relationships with them, business relationships, I've brought them onto a channel so people can get that journey as well.
Yeah. Share the entire growth. Yeah. One, it keeps content relevant, it keeps content fresh, it keeps content coming, because all you're doing is documenting your life. That's all you're doing. You don't have to come up with crazy ideas. Just document your life.
Yeah.
And you're gonna continue to grow at an exponential rate, man. I'm very confident to say. Well, thank you so much, Raul.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. You guys, Raul's in the UK. He's doing it big. He has 4 employees. He's averaging about how many events a week, brother?
3 events a week, yeah, about that.
So that number right there is, it's an indicator. So when people ask me how many events do you do and stuff like that, to me it's more like you can do so many events, but how much money and how much leverage are you creating in your business? So being very busy with the events, like Ursula from Photo Booth Marketing said, you can be photo booth marketing and have a lot of events, but you can just consider yourself to be a busy fool. Meaning you have a lot of events, but your profit margins are slow and your operating is barely getting by. Yeah. Well, ladies, if you guys are interested and you guys reside in the UK, Canada, and anywhere near Raul, where can the people find you?
So we've got a website, so luxe360.co.uk. Also on Instagram, it's just the Luxe360. So same username, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, that's where you can find us.
Now, are you going to spend more time creating YouTube content?
Yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot more time for UK community, just the Photo Booth community, on spending more time on content that brings value.
Right on. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed, keep creating, and continue to be innovative, but pursue your passion. See you guys in the next one. Thank you, Raul.
Thank you, man.
Take care, brother.